Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries for day 11 Inkmas part 2. I feel like my passion is reinvigorated after yesterday's ink for this calendar, and I'm really excited for day 11 and hoping that trend continues. And we're gonna get a new color family today. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that, and we're just gonna jump in. We're just gonna jump straight in. Okay. So it looks like this ink is called Davinci Glow. And it says on the card here, Davinci Glow is inspired by the phenomenon where light reflected from the earth, also known as earth shine, illuminates the outline of the moon. Very cool. The sticker is honestly kind of like a lavender color, so maybe this will be a nice light purple, maybe purple gray. The bottle is looking very mysterious. The ink inside of it looks almost like a yellow brown color. Interesting. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this out and see what she looks like. Okay, initial thoughts on this one. It is not as purple as I anticipated. It is, however, a chroma shader. It is a heavy shader too. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I know it's kind of still in the gray category, which I've been trying to just escape from with this calendar, but it's such a unique color. It's almost like a washed out lavender blue with yellow gray shading, and the shading, like I said, is really high. Also, this ink had pretty decent flow, at least with the first initial writing with it with my dip pen, so that gives me high hopes. Usually lighter inks have a bit of a dryness to them, so I'm excited to see if this one continues to have the wetness that it initially started with. But yeah, I like the color. I like how dark it shades. Gives me hope that it's legible too. I honestly don't think I'm gonna have anything like this. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I have seen before in my collection that is close to this. Then again, there are quite a few Sailor inks in there that I don't always pay attention to, so it might be close to one of those. But this is beautiful. I'm really happy with this color, and that the shading is just wild, absolutely wild. Let me break out my swatch book and we'll do some comparisons. Okay, because this is such a chroma shader, here, I guess I can pull this up really close for you guys. The base color of this, I don't really know how to classify, but the shading is definitely gray. So I would say that based on the shade, I'd probably put this in the gray since it's shading so high. Oop, that was wet. But the base color, I don't really know if I want to call this lavender or blue. So I'm going to compare this to blues, grays, and purples, and I'm going to start with purples first just to see if there's anything quite close to this. It's definitely a blue toned purple. It is not really strongly pink or anything like that, so I don't know if I'm really going to have anything remotely close. Again, I don't think I have anything like this in my collection, and Colorverse is known for crazy chroma shading inks. So that is kind of cool to see that we finally got one on day 11. Yeah, I'm happy with this one for today. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything super strong here in the purples. Maybe we'll have some better luck in the blues, but I think that we're going to have the most luck when it comes to the grays. Yeah, okay, let me pull out my blues really quick. Okay, so here we have the blues, and I don't know. It's kind of close to Colorverse Monkey Head Nebula Glistening, but not really. This one is definitely stronger blue. It's very similar to Eroded Bronze, at least on my, in my view. On camera, Eroded Bronze is pulling a little bit more green, so not in terms of the camera. It's kind of close to Dominant Industries Dusk. Dusk does have shimmer, and it is a bit darker and a bit more purple, I feel like. It's also kind of close to Ferrisol Press's Blue Barrel Tonic, but Blue Barrel Tonic is a bit more on the blue side, and it has rose gold or pink shimmer. I don't really want to compare it to my Noodler's 54th Massachusetts because I had to throw that ink away and it didn't behave, as you can see. It's kind of similar to Robert Oster's Wind. Robert Oster's Wind is definitely more saturated and it has the pink shading versus the gray shading. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's just like blowing me away with matches here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to my grays. And this is where I feel like I'm actually gonna find something that matches. Like, fully matches. Nothing here. It's kind of similar to Colorverse's Alpha And, but Alpha And is definitely a bit more green, and the base is definitely a bit more blue. Similar shading in that it goes to that kind of like grayish thing, but not really. It's kind of similar in tone to the Artisan's Grease to Pain, but that's about it. This is an entirely different color. It's also similar in tone to Diatramentis Document Fog Gray, but this is much darker and it is also a waterproof ink and it does not have the gray shading. I'm not kidding. I don't think, yeah, I have nothing like this. This is an entirely unique ink. Good job, Colorverse. This one you get a winner for. This is pretty cool. This is really cool, honestly. I think in writing it shows up a bit more gray, so I would probably put this in the grays for me personally, but I could see this going in the blues. I could also see this going in the purples. So really kind of cool color, and the shading with this like yellow gray thing going on with the darker like purpley blue haloing. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Also, let me show you guys the Tomoe River paper because it's shading slightly different. Oh, gosh. So let me just zoom in, Danielle. Don't be doing these acrobatics with your hands. Like, look at the difference in the coloring. So on the Tomoe River paper, it's definitely a bit more, I'd say, blue. And on this Colorverse swatch card, it's a bit more purple. They're close, don't get me wrong. But it's really cool to see the shading and how beautiful the shading goes down. Let me write this a full page and see what we get and see if it's legible. But I'm definitely really happy with this one because it's such a cool chroma shader. And here we have the writing sample. I do think it looks way cooler in the swatch and also in the B nib up here, the writing that's a bit bigger. But in terms of the writing itself, I do find it legible. It is light. I would definitely put this in a broad nib for myself, maybe even double broad, even stub. I think extra fine would be a little challenging for me personally, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that would love it. I'm liking this one. I think it looks really cool in terms of the swatch over the writing for me personally, so I will probably use this for painting. But I think with a stub nib, if you're doing some kind of like, I don't know, calligraphy practice even, this would be really fun to play with. And the shading is just really, really cool. Yeah, if you're following along with the Colorvent, what do you guys think about this one? I know we get to vote on one ink at the end that they are going to produce in full. Scratch that, it's 3 inks. I just checked the box. So I know once we vote, we get to decide, I guess, which 3 inks come out on top and which 3 get, you know, put out into the world for mass purchase. And I don't know. I like this one. I still think it's not my favorite because it's not super legible for me, and I'm definitely a writer with fountain pen inks over anything else. I do use them for art just for fun, but it's nothing like, I don't know, it's not what I mainly use them for, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy with this one. Yeah, day 11, everybody. We are almost halfway through. Tomorrow is the halfway point. I hope we get a new color tomorrow, maybe something that's not super gray. But for this gray, I'm okay with this one. This one's kind of cool. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. Be blessed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!